In this video, you're going to see me install these Lippert JT strong arm jack stabilizers. I've installed them already and I've done tests on them. So in this one, you'll see me install them step by step, and then I'll do a movement test so you can see how they worked. These are designed so you'll eliminate movement in the trailer itself. You know, when you walk around a trailer, the trailer's moving and bouncing and everything. Well, these eliminate that movement completely inside the trailer, and it's like walking on a solid platform instead of movement. So I think you'd be very impressed, so stick around and watch the video, and I hope you enjoy it. In this video, I'm going to install Lippert Components JT strong arm jack stabilizers, and this is a kit here. I've already installed one side of the trailer, and so I'll just be installing the other side to show you how it goes. So there's actually 6 arms that it comes with. 2 go in the front and then 1 in the back. I was going to try and make some myself with a 3/4 1/2 inch pipe, but I figured it all out cost-wise, and it was less expensive to do it this route. These kits here come in different models. So this one here is for the travel trailer and then here is for 5th wheel under 58 inch between the landing gear, and this one is over 58 inch between the landing gear. So you got to make sure you buy the right kit. I'll put links in the description below the video for each one of these kits. It comes with all the parts you need and a few extra parts. If you have different configurations for installing it, it has a manual, and then it also has this sheet here telling you how to, once you're all done, how to set up your trailer so you get the best results out of these strong arms. So I really like the setup of these. These are built really heavy duty, and so you'll see the install goes pretty good. The first 3 I did, you know, 1 back here, and then I did up here in the front, 2 on this side, and it took me a little while to figure it out. I had to do a few little modifications, which I'll show you. So let's get going. I'm going to go ahead and install this. Here's what it looks like in the upright position on the back of the trailer. As you can see, it mounts here on the foot of the stabilizer, and then it mounts to the frame on this end here. Now with this in the down position, you have a better idea of how this works. You got your stabilizer jack right here. At the base it's connected, and then up at the frame it's connected. There's a bar here and a bar here. This bar slides in and out of this one as it goes up and down. There's a T-lock nut right here, so that when you raise and lower it, make sure that is loose. And then let's say I raised it up and I was going to travel. I want to take that and just tighten it up a little bit, snug. And then when I go to lower this jack, I want to loosen it up and then drop the jack and then tighten that up. So what this does, it locks everything to the frame. And you'll see in a video that I'm going to show pretty soon here, after I got these all installed, where I'll do a video and I'll push on the side of the trailer and without this locked in place, and you'll see how these move. And then I'll lock it in place and you'll see how they move less or not at all. I'm not sure exactly how this is going to work. I hope it's going to work, but I'm pretty confident here, 99% confident it's going to stop the movement or there'll be a slight movement. So I'm going to go ahead and go to the front of the trailer. And as you can see, the back one only has 1 arm here, and then there's an arm that goes up to the other way on the front of the trailer. So it has 2 bars. So at the front of the trailer here, you'll see there's 2 bars. I'll zoom in a little bit so you can see them better. This is the one that goes from front to back, and this one goes from the stabilizer to the center of the trailer in the front. As you can see on this front jack, it goes just like the back one. It goes from the jack up to the frame towards the center of the trailer in the front, and then this one goes from the jack up to the frame, the I-beam frame here. That's the back of the trailer. So this kind of locks it from going back and forth, and this locks it from the trailer moving that way. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to install the other side, and we'll go step by step how to do the front one and back one, and then we'll put it through its test after we're all done installing these. Now that you've seen where these JT strong arms go, I want to show you a couple things in the manual. I didn't lay out before I started this video to show all the parts that come with it. They're all loose like that. And then also it tells you what kind of tools you need in this manual. So when it comes all loose, what I do is I take everything and I put all the parts together loosely. So I make sure I got all the parts I need before I get started. And that's the way it makes it a lot easier. And then I lay these parts out where they're going to go, because these JT strong arm stickers need to face outward, and so they're placed on certain sides of this pipe here. So just wanted to give you that heads up before we get going installing these. This install for this side should go a lot quicker than the other side because I've done it. If you purchase this, I recommend that you refer back to this video for pointers on how to do it. You can read the instructions, but I think that you might get a better understanding of how to install them watching this video. Before we crawl under the trailer, we want these T-handles here to be lubricated. They say to use a white grease on them, on the thread. So I'm just going to put a little bit on here, just a little bit of white grease. I'll put a link in the description below for that. So I'm going to do it on all these, and that way it keeps it lubricated, it keeps it from rusting, and it makes it so it keeps working for a long time instead of freezing up. So I'm going to do it to all these, and then we'll go under here. I'm going to start with the front side of the trailer first. I've got everything laid out to install the front bar here, just like this one. So I want to show you this. So if I come down here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to be removing the bolt that goes through here and then inserting this bolt in here. You can see here I have a set collar. This didn't come with the strong arm. So what I did, I had to have that in there. You probably won't need it on your trailer, but I need it on mine in order to keep my distance right here from the jack itself. If I didn't have that in there, then this would hit the jack, and that wouldn't be good. And then what it did, I connect here to the frame. So I'm going to show you how I do that. But I just want to give you an idea of what I was going to be doing on the other side. So let's go back to the other side and I'll show you what I'm going to do. I've got all my parts on the unit so I know where they go. Make sure I have the bar setting right here to go on here. And I have my JT strong arm facing out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this off. This will end up going right in this hole here. So we'll be taking this bolt out, sliding this one in, and there's that collar I was talking about on the other side. So I'm going to go ahead and take this off. So now I'm going to go ahead and take this off. These are 9/16 nuts here. And then these here on here are 5/8, but the bolt size is the same. So it's just got a different size head on it. So it's 5/8. I'm going to use my impact gun just to take it off, so it makes it quicker. So So the trick here, when you do this, is to hold this in place so it doesn't fall down when you take this out, and then you have to try and line everything up. So I'm going to put that in. No washer on this one. I'm pushing it through just like that. So I left that bolt in here part way and pushed it through. So now I just use this here, the washer that's supplied, and the nut goes right here. And the threads stick out pretty far, but it's made for universal trailers and the stabilizers. So now I'm going to put this screwdriver in here, switch to a 9/16 socket, 9/16 socket right there to tighten it. And I have a washer and a nut over there. I have this. Now I'm going to just hold it. There's no tightening specs for here for how much torque. So you just make it so it turns easily, but it's snug. Just like that. So now that's on. That's all you got to do there. Now we're just going to go like this. I'm going to slide this on here. Got my bolt. All the bolts are the same size. The washer slides through just like that. Now I'm going to go ahead and tighten this up. So on this one, you just want to snug it up tight. Not real tight, but snug. That's on. So now we're going to go ahead and go under here, and I'm going to show you how to connect it here to the frame. Before we head under the trailer, just want to show you, they say to have a minimum of 1 inch here. So, but on this, what I'm going to have to do is probably have more, which is fine, but you want a minimum of 1 inch. You don't want to have tight against that. So 1 inch, and I'm just going to set it about 1 inch, and then we'll go up underneath and I'll show you how it goes. So this is how this will go. It's connected to the stabilizer jack. It'll come up here and go to the front frame. This is the front of the part of the trailer, and the batteries are up here. So what I'm going to do is I got my 1 inch down there, like I said, that space, the minimum. And so now if I go there, it'll be bolting right through my hinge. So I'm going to slide it up farther, and I'll probably have 1 inch or 2 down there, but that's fine. So right now I'm going to go ahead and take these bolts off and then come back to you. So I have it connected down there on the stabilizer jack. And I want to hold this up here just like this, and then I'm going to mark with my paint pen just like this. I have a paint pen. I'll put a link to this in the description below the video. I marked this here where I want it. Down at the other end I have, instead of the 1 inch space, I have maybe 4 inches possibly down there. So that's fine. That'll work for me. You want a minimum of 1 inch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take this off like this and just set it to the side. And then I'm going to take the paint pen and mark the other hole, and I'll come back to you. So they're both marked out. that paint marker works really well. And then I took a punch and I just punched where I'm going to go ahead and drill, just like that. I'm going to pre-drill this with around a 1/8 inch bit. It could be 3/16. Make sure you wear safety glasses. You don't want this stuff in your eyes. I'm pre-drilling both of them. And I forgot to tell you, make sure there's no wires behind here or any hoses, your gas line or anything. So now I'm going to change the bit to a 3/8 bit. Those things are hot flying off there, so make sure your eyes are protected. So those are done. So now I'm going to use these bolts here. You can use these, or there's enough of these to go and use, which is standard ones you're using everywhere else. These are actually made to thread in here. You drill the hole a little smaller, you tighten this in, and you cut threads in. But I prefer to, if you have an option, to just drill it. This size is 3/8. This comes with the kit. And then I'm going to put this through, and then I'm going to put a washer and a lock nut on the back. So I'm going to go like this. Just like that. Washer, and then a lock nut. Just got it on there loose. And then the same thing over here, put it in, and the lock nut, you put it with the nylon facing upward. So I'm going to go ahead and tighten those up. And hopefully that fits on there. Yep. 9/16. Plug your ears. Tight. I could use just a ratchet for this, but I like more power. So that's up. That's all in place. Now it's pretty easy from here. We're going to go ahead, make sure that T handle is upward. Put this in here. Have my bolt and a washer. Just like that. And then washer, nut with the nylon pointing outward, always. On this one, I'm just going to use the ratchet. Wrong wrench. 9/16. I'm just going to snug this up tight. Tight. You don't want to pinch these together. So just snug it tight. That's it. So now it's all done. This one's done right here. And so we're going to go do the other one in a minute, but I want to show you the distance I have down here so you can see where I'm at instead of the 1 inch where I'm at, okay? So I ended up with roughly 3.5 inches here. I'm good. I have my spacer in here, my collar that I got, and that I bought at a local hardware store. It's 3/8 for the bolt, and then it fits right on there, so that this will just clear going up and down off my jack. As I said before, you probably won't need this, but I did with my situation here. Here it is lowered, so roughly now it's maybe about 9 inches here, so I have plenty of room. So once it's down, then you tighten it up. I'm going to leave it loose because I'm going to continue working on this. Now I'm going to go ahead and get the other side set up. Jumped over to the side that's completed already, and I just want to show you it before we go ahead and install on the other side of the trailer, so you have an idea what we're doing. So right now it's connected to there, and then it goes up here and it connects to the frame, the I-frame here. You might have a different type. Here's that special piece that I had cut at the metal shop. They had scrap pieces, so many of you might have metal shop places close by to you where you can just go rummage through their scrap metal bin, and I'll show you. I'll just put a short video clip in showing you the scrap metal that the metal shop had. So if you ever need metal, go take a look at your local metal shop and see if they'll sell you pieces rather than going to like Home Depot or somewhere and buying steel, a whole piece. So we're going to go hit, and I'm going to line it up. I'm going to be mounted exactly the same on the other side. So I just want to show you what it looked like. So let's go back to the other side so we can get working on it. So this side will go up right here. It'll go from the front to back on this I-beam frame up here, and it'll go from the stabilizer jack. So I got everything just sitting here. Like I said, I got it all ready to go. On this one here, I had to go purchase some 1.5-inch tubing and cut it here, painted it up, drilled some holes, got some longer bolts that aren't in the kit to bolt into the frame because I needed more clearance under here. You'll see in a minute when I get under there. And so I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing where I'm going to take this off and put it through here. Let's remove this 3/8 bolt with 5/8 inch heads on it. So I got a 5/8 inch wrench and socket. Just like that. So this is going to be tricky because it's to get this in, make sure you hold this steady to get this bolt out. Remember, if you don't line it up, it's not going to work good. It's going to be a nightmare to get back together. So you might see a nightmare happen right here, live. And I got lucky. It worked. So I got it through, got my washer and nut. When I was doing the other ones that I showed you earlier, it was funny because they were, one of them I didn't hold it real tight, and it was a bear to line it back up to get it in. So let's go ahead and put this on. I just want it snug, but not too tight, so it moves easily. There's no torque specs on this, so you just got to do it by feel. Go ahead and put this on, bolt with the washer, and nut. I'll just do this wrench. Snug it up. I have the 1-inch clearance here. We'll see if I might have to have it more than that, but let's see what we're going to do here. So So right now, we're going to go ahead and do this end, and I'll show you where it connects up here on the I-beam from another angle. I'm holding it up in place here to get an idea where it goes, and I got roughly my 1 inch right there, space, and so everything clears. So you could see kind of why I had to have my spacer, this black spacer here, because if this was up all the way, the bar would be hitting here on the frame, and this T-handle would be hitting there. So I'm going to go ahead and mark this up right here and drill some holes. I took this off so I could show you how I tighten this up on this bracket. So I have this piece here. I got a washer and a nut, and I put this on here, and then I'm just going to hold it and then just turn it and tighten it this way. So that's just snug but not too tight. I'm going to loosen it slightly. That's a little too loose. There we go. Now I'll go back under the trailer and line this up and mark it out where I'm going to drill it. I've got this held in place. I'm going to go ahead and mark it like that. And you probably notice here something. This plate used to be over on this side. I had to move it on this side so I'd be able to be tighter here on the frame to catch it. So I think this will be good right there. And then this will, I have the screws here, so it'll be hitting right there a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and drill it. I might drill this over slightly. So I'll go ahead and center punch it and drill it. I got the holes all drilled. I was very careful not to hit the wires as I drilled through here. If you're afraid of hitting the wires, you can always stick a piece of plywood or something in here and drill into that. But I was really careful. My drill didn't get away from me to get up in there. So I'm going to set that in place. I just noticed something here. So when I go to do this, let me put the camera down here so you can see. I won't be able to get my bolt through here because of this plate. So I'm going to go ahead and put my bolt on here prior to bolting this up in place. So I'll be right back to you. So that worked out. I'm glad I caught that early. So I got my bolt in place. I want on the arm, the strong arm. Now I got these, line these up. Go ahead and put my washer and my nut on it, my lock nut. These bolts didn't come with the kit. I had to buy them. They're 2.5 inch, I think, by 3/8. So I got that one. Washer. So I got it started. Let's see if I can get that on there. Nope. So I'll have to go like this. Tighten that one up, and then I'll go ahead and tighten this one up with my ratchet, or I got a wrench that I'll use, so I don't want to bore you with that. So I'm going to go ahead and tighten that. So I got this tightened up just using my ratchet like that. Now I'm going to go ahead and do this other one on this strong arm. And again, I just dug it up. I have a washer on each side. So it's nice and snug. So this is all put together. This side's all installed. I want to give you a last look at it before I go up above. So see, it just clears. So that's why I have the spacer, like I said. Here we are from the outside of the trailer. You can see the handle just clears here, and then it just clears on the frame here. So this is all put together. Looks really good. I'm really happy with it. So let's go ahead and do the back one, and we'll be done, and then we can perform some tests on this and see how well it works. Here we are at the back of the trailer. I want to show you the setup that I have on the one side before I go to the other side and install it with you. So on the back, we just have one arm. We don't have two like we do on the front of the trailer. On this one, we install here on the inside bolt on the bottom of the stabilizer jack, not this one. The reason for that is you don't want that T-handle to be right here. If you go that hole, your T-handle would be about here, and then you'd be hitting your hand trying to tighten it and loosen it. So that's it. And then over there you install connecting to the frame. So it's a real easy install. So let's get going to the other side and we'll put that in. Got everything laid out, ready to go here for this side. So like I said, I'm going to go right to this bolt hole here and run it up to this side up here. I got everything ready, and then I'm just going to take this stuff apart so I'll be able to stick it right in there and show you how I do it. Here's a quick tip. I don't think I mentioned this already. I may have, but I'm going to mention it again if I did. So the best way to get this bolt out, this 5/8 inch head bolt with the 3/8 inch shaft, is to have the jack down slightly, the stabilizer jack, so it's able to pull out easy. If you have the jack all the way out, it won't pull out. So it'll make it easier for putting this back in too. So let's go ahead and start taking this thing apart. And like I said, we want to do the inside bolt hole. I'm going to hold this right. I got a good grip on it. Careful not to move it. Slide that in. And that's it. So I'm taping this whole part because I want to do it to show you, just in case this doesn't line up and I go to battle trying to put it in. Go ahead and tighten this up. Put that in there. My 9/16 socket. I got my washer and my nut there. So I got it just snug, like I have been with all the other ones. So I'm going to go ahead now and put this in place like this. Just like that, with the bolt washer, nut. 9/16 socket. Just tighten this up, like I said, not too tight. You don't want to push these tight together. So let's go ahead over here and we'll connect it over there. For this one, I had to do a modification to the trailer to make it work. I've already installed this on here. I'm going to show you what I had to do and why I had to do it. But what I did was I have this tubing, 2" by 3" tubing. I needed to bolt this on, so I installed this new tubing. So to bolt it on, I drilled a hole up here and up here, and so I'd be able to get the washers and nuts onto this. So this tubing here is 2 by 3, like I said. Thin wall tubing. So I just bolted it on here, and I'll show you underneath what I did. So I had to do this because this trailer didn't have a frame that I could bolt to. I could have bolted up to the bumper, but I have my sewer cleaning tube in there, and so I couldn't bolt onto the bumper. So let's go underneath and I'll show you what I did. So as you can see, I had nothing here to put this on for this to go up here and bolt to. So, except if I had gone to the bumper, I would be okay. If I had went to this side, this is a tank support, so I couldn't have gone here because I have the tank right there. Plus, I didn't want the bar on the back side of here, then I wouldn't be able to get to the T-handle very easily. So I just went and got this thin wall tubing. I took some angle iron and I made a bracket so I could bolt it all together so I didn't need to weld anything in place. So a lot of trailers have a frame that goes along the back here that you can bolt to or something else, but with this trailer it didn't. So every trailer is built differently, so you might need to make some modifications to make these work. Probably 90% of the trailers you don't need to do all these modifications I've had to do. So let's go ahead and I'm going to bolt this strong arm up to this. This one's just like the others. Slide this up, bolt and washer, and then you got washer, nut, just like that. We're just going to snug this up. Here's what it looks like in the up position. Here's the down position. It's just like all the other ones. So now we get to go to the fun stuff. We're going to put this to the test and see how it works. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lower all my jacks down, and then I'm not going to tighten this T-handle here to tighten this up, and then we're going to do some rock tests on it. So I'm going to get set up and come back to you. All the stabilizer jacks are down. I have the T-handle locking bolts loose on all of them. I've taken a slight weight off the front jack, the front hitch jack, just slightly, so the weight is on the stabilizer jacks themselves. You're going to want to stick around with me because I'm going to show you how to set this up the way they gave me instructions to do. This is a sticker. So I'm going to take a picture of this and post it in the video. And I'm going to go over it step by step when we do our test with these jacks all tightened up. So right now I have it set up like I would have at a campground. So we're going to go ahead and do some tests pushing on it, the trailer, and walking around it and see how that goes with the movement of the trailer. The first test I'm going to do is I have this jar with food coloring in it, and I have the strong arms not locked in place. So it'd be like your typical setup at a campground. I'm going to push the side of the trailer. I don't have any way to measure force, but I'm going to do my best to do the same pushing movement on the side of the trailer with each test. So I'm going to go ahead and push the side of the trailer and we'll watch how much the food coloring moves. So there we go. Now I'm going to go down and show you while I'm pushing the same way I did before with this food coloring. I'm going to show you how much the stabilizer jacks move. This will give you an idea how much the stabilizer jack moves. So you can see it moves quite a bit. I'll take another angle shot of this so you can see how much everything moves on the trailer. So now I'm going to show you a side shot here. You'll see when I push the trailer how these flex. The front ones you won't see flex so much, but you're going to see these tires moving also. So pay attention to the tires. So you can see that the whole trailer flexes, and that the tires too add a little bit of flex to the trailer. So I'm going to go ahead, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in the trailer and move around, and we'll see if there's any movement. And what I'll do is when I do that, I'm just going to focus in on the stabilizer jack so you could watch it. So right now I'm inside the trailer and I'm about in the middle of it. So I'm going to rock side to side 8 times just on my feet, that my feet are spread apart about 3 feet. So I'm just going to lean on one side and the other 8 times, and we'll see how much this moves. So it sounds like it moves from here. I'm going to go outside and I'll have to watch the video. You're probably hearing some sounds right now. Sounds like metal movement. That's actually the strong arms. Since they're loose, they're making noise, but once they're tightened up, it won't make that noise anymore. So I just watched that clip and there was some movement I saw there. So now we're going to set it up according to the JT Strong Arms instructions, how to set up your stabilizing jacks and your strong arms. So let me get set up for that and we'll get going on that test. Now we're going to do the test with the JT Strong Arms engaged. I'm going to follow their directions, and like I said before, I'm going to take a picture of this to put it in the video so you take a look at it. So right now, level the trailer side to side, which it's done. Then level the trailer, which I did from front to back. And then what I did was I lowered the front of the trailer down 1 inch lower than the rear. So, which I've done already. And if you look here, you can see it's just off the ground, probably about 3/4 of an inch, but I lowered it 1 inch in the front. Now it says to lower the back jacks to the ground and then tighten the T-bolts. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So I'm going to lower this down, just snug, then take this T-bolt and tighten it up nice and tight. You don't have to crank on it. And then I'm going to take this one and tighten it up, just like that, tighten it up. Now it says to raise your hitch jack until the trailer is level. Just a little more. And now I'm going to put these jacks all the way down, snug. And then it says to tighten the JT Strong Arms. Just like that. And I'll go around and get the other side. So I lowered it. Now I'm tightening the strong arms, just like they say in the instructions. Those are tight. And then it says to take some weight off of the hitch jack. And you can hear that in the motor where it's releasing pressure. And now everything should be stable in the trailer. So we'll go back to the back of the trailer and do our test. So the jacks are down, the strong arms are locked in place. So let's do the test. I'm going to push on this side of the trailer 8 times like I did before. So looks like there was a little movement here. So now let's set up for the next test. So let's check this out. I'm going to go ahead and push on the side of the trailer. So that looked pretty good. I didn't see much movement. I'll review these right after I get done with all these tests. So now we'll see this side view here. Very little movement, so I'm going to go inside the trailer now. So right now I'm inside the trailer in the same location as I was before when I tested them with the strong arms knot engaged. I'm going to move the same. Feels like a big difference in here. It doesn't feel like it's moving at all. So I'm pretty impressed with that. So I'm going to review the videos I just did and compare and see how it turned out. So after reviewing the clips, the videos I made on the movement of everything while the JT strong arms were loose, and then when they're tightened up, and by looking at the colored water test, going inside the trailer, moving around, I am totally amazed and impressed by how well these work. If I had another RV or trailer I bought in the future, I'm going to buy in the future possibly, I will be purchasing these. They're amazing what they do. I've heard good things about them, but now there's proof. Also, I'm going to go over here. When I stepped in the trailer, I also noticed that stepping up these stairs, usually when you go up them, they're moving around, but these stairs move slightly, but when you go up in here, the deck inside the trailer is real rigid now, so you get little movement going up and down the stairs. So all in all, I'm really impressed with how these went in. They went really well. It's pretty simple to do. There's no welding required. Everything is bolt-on. They sell these for the travel trailers like this with the scissor jacks and fifth wheels, and there's a short fifth wheel too they sell it for. So I give it a thumbs up. I really like these. I like these stabilizer jacks that I got too. I'm glad I did it. I can't wait to try them out. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more videos that I make, hit subscribe and that bell icon to be notified of future videos. And if you like, leave comments. I appreciate it. If you have these strong arms or thinking about them, feel free to comment and let me know how they work, or if you have any questions, ask me. I'm here for you. Hope this video is helpful in some way to you. Appreciate you watching. Thanks a lot, and I want to say happy camping.